What is that? Wow. Alright. I almost died more times than I would really have wanted to. At least I took care of the problem. Big old werewolf. Werewolf boy. Really? Really? We're not doing this right now. Okay, he's dead. So you generate that health, for I saved the day. I need to reach Whitechapel. Okay. What if I just make a pit stop to my room? I feel like that's fair. I'm really considering on eating hooks and seeing if I can get a shotgun or not. If I get that shotgun, I'll be in the end game. Because that thing does an ungodly amount of damage as it is. Shit's bananas. Hey. With my grabby hands, I'll take it all. Take it all.
It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right.
Fine. The hell? Right. Okay, let's see what I can make. I can make more of this. Perfect. Okay, recycle. 2 hands? Really? So with 2 hands, you're able to parry anything. 116, 110. Ooh. Attack speed is 5. Same. Stun 15. Use barbed cudgel. Sorry to hear. I think I might equip that. Common machete. Use Taxon, Clay's hatchet. Absorb blood points when the weapon hits. Common handle part. Don't have that. Trigger part, don't have that either. Used pre-wind stake. Yeah. Okay. Alright, now to Whitechapel. Just like, imagine that's the music that they play if I just show up on the scene. I do want to eat somebody though. Let's see. Let us see. Yes, Oswald Thatcher. He's got a headache. I can cure that headache. That's so weird though. So where could he be? Cash. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go and venture forth. Ooh.
I cannot enter.
Guess I gotta cross through that bridge. Alright. So let me go ahead and get this rocket. Alright. Enter at your own risk. Thanks, I guess. You know? Oh my god. That is one hell of a swing, my man.
Oh my!
Oh. I like that, man. Hey, you. Wow. I am loving that club. Jeez. The reach is beautiful, also stuns. Couldn't ask for more. Alright. Let's see now. Hey, buddy. You're making me so hungry. This club is literally OP right now. Stun lock him. Suck more blood. It's just great. It's really great.
More and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye. The guards recruit more and more every year.
Stop screaming so loud. Come on. Just need you to turn around me, bucko. Please?
Over there! There's one of them!
Oh, yeah. Oh no. There he goes. Take a nap. Bro, no. Oh my god. Taking that blood. And he's dead. Oh, wolfy butt cheeks. Man, like whoever Focus Interactive, Don't Nod, yeah, Don't Nod Entertainment. They were literally steps away from Nightmare Creatures, because this is like the kind of vibe that I'm getting. Roger the Wall. Yeah, Nightmare Creatures, man. What is? Oh, that game, a lot of fun. Don't care how outdated it looks.
A leech! A leech!
Right.
It's a leech! Christ! He's dead!
I'll kill you!
Stop. You need to stop. There goes Roger the Wall. He really was a wall. Hey, buddy. Why did you just walk away?
We have to stop it!
It hurt, you know. Oh. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my goodness. This club is amazing. Holy shnikes. Holy shnikes. Alright. Yeah. Assuming that's the next point of interest is that gate. Let me see what else I can uncover here. Okay. There was the big werewolf over there. Rats. Okay, yep, so that gate, pretty much.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Petrescu, okay.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert! Stop it!
Oh, what the hell? Alright.
It's all a bloody joke to you, isn't it? Stealing drugs from the sick and suffering. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Alright.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
Have you no family?
You don't have anywhere to go. No family that would welcome you.
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Well then, alright. Why'd you shoot him?
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just faked me last nerve.
Right, so that calls for a bullet.
I
I
have
mean,
found
hey,
a very
you know.
interesting letter.
It's interesting
Your
times
son
in London.
planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just... well, I'm an arsehole, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
Swanborough cordial. Okay.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Worse than a week-old lavvy.
You talking to yourself?
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert.
He looks
Remember
like a pug.
it. Now bugger
Jeez.
off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. If she's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London. So you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Goodbye, young.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Oh, where'd he go? Where'd the arsehole go? Alright.
I'll not die in some piss stinking alley drinking worse than
Drugs from the sick and stuff.
Hey,
Good
buddy.
evening, Ben.
I'm afraid not, miss.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
Okay, Benjamin.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir.
There's a cat here.
Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Okay.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt.
Hey.
The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Then he should be eaten. So.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Okay, I got that. There's like the two components. Oh, okay. Okay.
If I could get some work in, everything would be better.
Okay, can't talk to that guy. Or that guy.
All the good boys join the army and the scum.
The ring.
Distribute flowers at this hour of night.
Hey. Is that you, Cat?
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here
Oh.
for a bounty.
I'm definitely gonna eat him.
Dr. Reed from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say a live tenant's a paying tenant.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane.
Well,
She's a nurse.
Maybe when I get
What
the
can you
XP
tell
up
me
on him.
about her?
Dorothy Crane. Bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
I'm no saint, but to take advantage as you do, you are a despicable man who could only prosper in these dark times.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reed tonic could have really helped people, you know, save lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swamborous shit.
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
Yeah.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
What is your business exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
In other words, you take advantage of these poor lost souls.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
Alright.
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
Infecting you is probably the last thing on these people's minds. Take this in any case.
What? You give me this for free? Don't have a clue about this place, do you?
Goodbye, Mr.
Alright, I'll be back for your Sean Penn looking ass at another point in time.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
She's not talking to anybody. There are no locals here.
I have this thirst for blood. It's locked.
They did a pretty good job with designing areas like this. I'll openly admit that. It's really nice. Like the dark fantasy gothic aesthetic. Mixed that with like London.
This district seems to get uglier every year.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Have you heard of a nurse?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
See what you got.
Show me what you have.
Show me what you got. Got a lot of stuff. I'll take that off your hands.
I should never have taken up my father's business.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few
Oh,
questions.
this guy looks
Another
like a
journalist?
raging
I didn't
douche.
answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You are a criminal who endorses criminal activity. The least you could do is stop hiding behind this pretense.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Fancy
Mr.
buying
Lewis?
something?
You never... Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Alright. So, that's all for that. And, what else is around for me to uncover, more or less? Right.
Soon the time will come.
Whitaker. Alright, where would this take me? I'm gonna find out. Right. Get off me. Yeah, how about I bite you back? Like that, huh? Oh, there. Very good. Okay. Pick that up. Pick that up. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Got that. Clove essence. Oof. So spoopy, it's not even October. And it doesn't have to be. Nope. Alright, let's see. Get this open, right?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest.
Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
Oh.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy, but the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
My mother loved poetry. Perhaps your words would have touched her sensitive nature. I only see a dreadful disease.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Alright. Well, that guy's a fucking weirdo. And that's just fine. Ended a refusal letter. Dear Mr. Nethercott, thank you for sending your book of poems, Songs from the Defeated City, which we found as interesting and profound as we told you the first time we received it. Alas, in the terrible times our country is currently facing, you must understand that such title would be totally inappropriate for any publication. Thus, since you still refuse to change your title and demand the full publication of none of your work, I'm sorry to announce that Sycophant Publishing chose the second option. With kindest regards, A.G. Morris. Got some tips on the boy over here.
Oh, Camellia, the silent flower of Whitechapel, an angel made flesh, I tell you.
Take that.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Very well.
Need some hints to get that mouth to open up. What's this?
Hello again, miss. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well.
Alright, guess that's that for now. No, alright. Not allowed in there. Not allowed in there either. I don't know what's on the side of the church. Don't see anything on the side of the church here. And as I check out this side, nah, there's darkness in here. Big dark door. Yeet! Right up there. Aw, that's it? Damn. Oh, wait a minute. No? Not allowed? Alright. What the hell?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Okay, Darby.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Rational explanation, rationalism.
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Dark.